All right, so I am back in Orlando, Florida, commentating here at MVP Prospects number 10. That's right, 10 in the books. As you guys know, I have a fight coming up January 18th. Still some things going on that I'm not really sure what's happening. I'll keep you guys updated as I can, but I'm training for a fight. And as you know, that fight is my first one and one that I'm really excited about. So for years on this channel, I have broken down people's boxing footage and told you guys my opinion on one simple question. Can they box? Are they a good boxer or not? So in the last couple of days, I've been training with BJ Flores down in Arizona. I've been all over the place, haven't been home in a while. I miss California, but I've been putting in work and I've been trying to get better, and I thought it'd be fun to make a video doing what I used to do, or still kind of do to other people, which is break down their boxing footage on myself. Am I a good boxer? Well, you guys have already on Twitter and now in the comment section get to decide. Let's take a look at some of my mitt footage, which is very sparse because I'm not showing too much just yet. But I still want to take a look at it, get an outside perspective on what I'm seeing versus what I think I'm doing, and see what you guys think. I'm sure the title is already out there on YouTube now, but we're going to hit it here. Can W.A.D.E Plem, aka me, myself, box? Breakdown. Let's go. All right, so this was December 4th, which as of writing is about 5 days ago. My first day training with BJ Flores down in Arizona. Obviously, BJ has a team down there, one of which is his fighter, Josh Bruckner. You guys know Josh. He's been on Misfits for a while now. By the way, in person, a unit. This guy is jacked out of his mind. He's been training with BJ, and I know some people are asking the question, why am I training with BJ? Well, for one, you look at all the fighters that BJ has worked with for their fights. Josh Bruckner, Tristan, obviously the big one, Jake Paul. They're all bigger guys. They're all cruiserweights to heavyweights, and that's kind of the realm I live in, right? I'm a bigger guy, and there is a difference, whether you want to believe it or not, in how you train big guys versus small guys, and obviously, you know, catering to what they do best and what I do best is what BJ's trying to do. So he was also close to California. Didn't think there'd be a better mind for someone in this scene like myself. So I went down and I've been getting some work in for the last 5 days before I came over here with BJ Flores. And here's kind of how it went. He introduced myself and Josh.
Boys got some good work in today. Did some good counter drills. Josh Bruckner in the house. W.A.D.E Plem. We're coming January 18th. We'll see everybody in Manchester.
BJ throwing a wink at the camera. We both walk off. Hey, say what you want. BJ's got some decent promo skills. You know, he's working out here, putting the Twitter clips up. So as you can see there, I am pouring in sweat. Josh is not, which means that I am, you know, fairly out of shape. And trying to get back into shape, and Josh is in freaking Greek god shape right now. But Josh did work with me a little bit. No sparring or anything like that for me and Josh just yet, but we're working. And then you have this video where, by the way, this is the first time I put on 10-ounce gloves. I was working with BJ. I've never worn 10 ounces before. They're completely different from the 16s. I mean, the protection level is far less, which is concerning the first time you put those gloves on. But here was our literal first mitt session, myself and BJ. And let's see what we have. First off, the quads are popping. I'm talking 1, 2, 3, all 4 of them things. That may not be such a good thing for me, and we'll talk about why in a second, but let's watch through here. So we don't show a lot there, but let's take a look at what we do see. First off, let's take a look at my stance, right? I am in a very, at least for my height, low and loaded stance. This is something that I'm trying to work on. For whatever reason, in my head, I don't think that I am bearing so much weight in a loaded position, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to have this much bend in my knee and also just have that much pressure. Look at my quads just popping out. There's a lot I'm still working on and keeping, you know, myself relaxed, and not necessarily in the way you guys would think, but keeping my legs relaxed by being in a posture that isn't so fatiguing on my back leg or fatiguing on my legs in general. That's what I'm used to, is having that kind of low stance, and like a, you know, in any other sport I've played, being active and low there. Also, you see that my foot here is about, it's about a 90-degree angle, which I kind of like, but we're working on some different things with, like having my foot in a 45-degree, kind of in this same place here with my other foot. But from what I see in this first little bit here, you know, decent enough jab. Obviously, we don't return it back to the place of origin, which is something I definitely have to work on. And also, there's other things that I don't want to tell you guys that we're actively working on for a fight, but just general stuff. Yeah, I can get better with my lead hand. I want it to be snappier as well. I want to pop that out there. When I throw my right hand, when we look back here, and you guys will see kind of this progression throughout the days. It's not a bad right hand, but I'm not really looking at the right hand as much as I'm looking at the way I turn my hip over. And when I'm, especially these first couple days when I'm doing it, that's actually not the worst right hand. You know, yeah, okay, my lead hand could be a little higher so I don't get countered. Yes, we understand that. But I'm trying to throw some power here, but I'm not getting the twist, the turnover that I want necessarily out of that right hand. Like, sure, my hip goes with it, but I'm almost reaching for this right hand. And you see it more on this second shot. And it's great, right? When it sounds like that on the pads, and I saw people on Twitter being like, whoa, real snappy. And snappy's cool. Like, that's cool. Boom, boom, boom. Snappy, nice. We like that. Boom, boom. Right? But look at the way I land it. Look where everything is. And again, it's not terrible. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world that I'm up on my toe here. You know, it's turned over. I have a nice kind of straight arm line. But you can even kind of see where the knuckles are landing there. It's not as flush as I'd want it to be. You see kind of how the top of my hand lands. I'm trying to land that thing flush, and I'm trying to really rotate my feet over and also get better balance in my shots, right? Like, everything is working kind of in the right way, but I want to have that twist in my hip and turn over my shot way before I finish that punch. And that's something I'm working on, something, you know, me and BJ are working on. The fundamentals of a bigger, like myself, 6'4", 200 and change fighter. I'm trying to work on the fundamentals of landing with some big time power. I want to be a puncher in this fight, in any fight if I was going to take him, because I'm a bigger guy and I want to utilize what power I think I do have. I'm a muscular dude and I'm athletic to a certain degree, so I want to utilize that. And you know, again, we're very, very basic in stuff we're doing right now. So yeah, the holes I can see are definitely there, but you don't want to give away everything. You don't want to show people everything, and I certainly don't want to comment on the stuff I know we're doing to improve in certain areas, and also to hide things in videos just like this one, because I'll be honest with you, are we showing everything that we've done? Of course not. And why would we? There's obviously still things that I am doing that I want to do better, and there's things that I'm doing really well that you guys aren't seeing yet, but the difference I'm trying to show you guys is the progression. So this was day 2. And again, I start out the session with my feet a little wider, and it's great for you know, again, stuff we're working on. And I'll just kind of show you guys the whole thing here. Okay, so that one is a little longer, right? You see, the first thing we're working on is an up jab, BJ calls for. And you see me kind of bring my head to the inside and let the up jab go. Now, I know that a lot of people on Twitter, and again, probably in this YouTube comment section, are going to say, I'm stiff as a board. I'm stiffer than when your mother walks into a room and I haven't seen her in a while. I'm stiffer than my own neck after not sleeping in my own bed for weeks at a time because these hotel pillows just aren't doing the job. And honestly, I agree with you. You know, there's, again, you look at the start of this and I've got a lot of bend in my legs, and you can see my quads are definitely feeling it. Things I need to be more relaxed with. It just comes with repetition. I'm not going to lie to you and act like I've got it all figured out yet, because I definitely don't. And, you know, being in that position is one thing, but watching it back, I'm doing something that sometimes I don't even know that I'm doing. I'm not as explosive or as fluid as I would like to be, but that's the place we're trying to get to. So you see the up jab there, and you see the jab, right hand. And what we're really working on is, again, utilizing all of the athletic traits that I have and bringing them into the fundamentals of boxing. So you see, what did I talk about in video 1 from day 1? I want to be able to turn my right hand over more. And you kind of see it here, but also you see my hip engaged finally. You see me trying to punch through that target, but you see me still not bringing that back leg with me, right? I'm still a little wide at the finish of this punch. Like, that's not a bad finish, but my feet are just a little wide. So we're still honing that in. And look at that. That's the finish on the right hand I want. And I know that, again, some people were talking about move your head. And I sometimes wonder if you guys understand what head movement with punching is. Because, yeah, you can over-exaggerate head movement. And sure, at some point, I will get better with it. But look at the starting place of my head here. For people that wanted to see head movement, look at the starting place of where my head is here to where we finish. I'm off center line here. Am I as far off as I want to be? No. But there is natural head movement just strictly because, and I've talked about this with other fighters and people, you know, like myself, trying to apply what I know to a real life situation, or people that are just starting. It comes also just with that rotation of the hips and the oblique muscles and the shoulders. And I don't even extend as much as I want to on the right hand here, but I see my feet getting closer. I see some twist in my hips, and I see my head off of center line in a way that is more exaggerated than it had been. Again, this is day 2 of me hitting the mitt, so it's only going to get better from there. You see me a little bit reachy with my jab. I can definitely be better with that, right? Staying with my weight backward a little more. I know you guys are going to talk about my chin being up. And yes, I can definitely tuck my chin more and roll those shoulders, but I'm definitely also not going to be standing here like this with my eyes down. There's a happy medium between what I need to be doing and where I'm at, for sure. But it's not as exaggerated as I think some people online that I probably shouldn't be reading the comments of, but sometimes I do try to educate me on. But again, I also did this on YouTube and also gave you guys little pinpoint accuracy things of what guys were doing wrong. So in a way, I completely understand that. BJ's getting on me about making sure I hit the target. Not a bad jab. Again, I'd like to keep my weight a little further back than I am there. Little up jab's really nice, I think. Again, is there other things that can be done with my head level and my posture? Sure, absolutely. Better jab there, definitely. Definitely a better jab there. Kept my weight back a little more. That's probably a far better right hand than I had thrown up until that point. And I remember by the end of this session, I was really starting to get the way my body mechanics would allow me to throw the way I want to throw. Am I anywhere near where I want to be yet? No, but the wheels are starting to turn in motion of kind of what I and BJ think I can do and how I need to implement it and how my body needs to move and how I'm honestly just going to be able to react and create that muscle memory to fire in the ways that are going to be more effortless for me than full of effort and not getting me where I want to get. So that's day 2. And, I think we're getting where I want to get. Here's day 3. And I think the third, maybe last day, I'm not exactly sure, but one of the last days that BJ and I did before I came to Florida. And again, we're on the mitts and we're working fundamentals. Again, I am more stretched out than Laffy Taffy with my feet, and I've really got to work on getting myself to a better posture where I'm more relaxed because, again, there is a lot of weight on this back foot, which is, I do want to keep my weight back, but there's a certain extent to where I want to be able to be forward and back and be able to move a bit better. So, I have to definitely work on that. But we're still working on that right hand. And you can see the difference when I really throw the right hand versus when I'm still, kind of guiding it in there and not letting it go and not committing to it. That's another thing that, I am working on and getting, I think, better with as the days go by is committing to my punches. But I genuinely like that right hand a lot better than I liked the day 1 right hand. And you guys, honestly, you may look at the day 1 right hand and be like, no, it was way more snappy. It was way more poppy. But again, you have to look at the entire package. Look at the hip twist. Look at the way the right hand turns over. And again, I love that. And maybe a little off balance. Maybe, some things I can work on. But the finish here is something I like a little more. Sure, I can turn that thing over a little better. But I'm liking where I'm getting to is the point. And yes, again, we finish way out here and almost damn near in a split. We got to get those feet together. But the point is, what I'm doing, and there's some more footage, a little bit of, I think, day 2. I didn't see this earlier. Seeing the up jab. And yes, you're seeing me return here. Definitely something I got to work on. I know I'm going to keep saying I got to work on, but genuinely, I need to work on some of this stuff. But again, the weight is back. Maybe a little too much, maybe a little bit too much sitting down where I can posture up a little bit and be a bit more mobile and a bit more fluid. You even hear BJ right there, stay relaxed. He can tell when I'm a little tense and I'm trying to load up on some punches. Definitely not something I want to do. I don't want to be loaded up on any punches, nothing like that. But I do want to make sure I maintain good fundamentals and maintain, the stance, the posture, and all the things I need to produce the punches I want to get out. But that's not bad there. But again, I'd like to get my head off center a little more, sure. And you guys are seeing me reframe after combinations. Just wanting to make sure I give myself, some offense to defense transition there. Nice. Getting through the hook right hand there as well. Just something I want to add into the arsenal. Again, just little stuff here and there to build up. And as much as I'd like to tell you guys and even show you guys more, because you're seeing 20 seconds, you're seeing 15 seconds. I don't want to give it all away yet, because regardless if it's HS or you know, whatever he's got going on, at some point, you know, I want to put that entire package together. And that's what we're working on right now. I know this may not be the most intriguing, you know, drama-filled video or anything like that, but at the moment, I figured it'd be fun to go back to where kind of the W.A.D. concept all started, with breaking down influencers and are they good boxers. So for the moment, I'll be honest, if the question is W.A.D. a good boxer? Obviously, the answer is no. Not for the pro scene for sure at all. And for the influencer scene, you know, I'm learning. That's the best way I could put it. I am KSI in 2018. I am Logan Paul, Jake Paul in 2019. I am these guys that were just starting, you know, minus the millions of dollars and massive followings like they had. I mean, because they were just starting, and it was easy to be very critical of them when they were starting, which is why I took a different route. Like, okay, yeah, sure, I nitpick a little bit with my boxing breakdown, but they took it serious. And because they took it seriously, they were able to progress at a very fast rate. I intend to do the same. Does that mean I'm going to be as talented or as athletic or any of those other things? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm 32 years old, and you guys say that's not old, but after sitting on my ass for the last 8 years, it feels that way. So I'm just going to keep going and keep putting the work in where I can, as long as, again, this January card continues to hold up. Still a little bit in flux with that. So I don't really have any answers for what the f is going down. But what I do know is that for the time I put in, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But I'm learning and I'm growing, and this was part of the entire thing for me was, can my body handle this? Can I handle this mentally? Can I lock in, and can I speak to the other side? That isn't just me sitting here and talking about people doing it, but going and doing it. And I'm starting to get an understanding of that. I don't have the full thing yet, but at some point I will. So at the moment, no, I'm not a good boxer, and I got a lot of things to work on. But I'm excited to do that, and I hope you guys like this video. Let me know exactly what you think in the comments below. I already know you guys are down there typing away as it is. What can I work on, and what do you think of the footage we've shown so far? Again, it's not much, but it's definitely enough for you to kind of judge where you think I'm at. Let me know down below, and yeah, I got to get back consistent with the YouTube. I'm traveling a lot, so my apologies, but is W.A.D. Plem a good boxer? My answer is no, but you guys are ultimately the judge, jury, and executioner here. So let me know, and then the question is, will I be a good boxer by the time I fight? I don't have those answers, but I guess we'll find out.